over the country, something is stirring. A yearning to live life differently.
Look at this!
People everywhere are thinking again.
Just sort of like taking in the moment. It's so nice.
Recognising that life is short.
One last adventure before dementia.
And tearing up the rule book.
Imagine if, like, you hadn't have done it.
Hate or what if.
Yeah, exactly.
So where do you begin if, like me, you want to change your life?
This is the driveway and half. Hold on to the dog. Oh, I've got the dog.
I'm Sophie Morgan, and I'm on a road trip around the UK and beyond.
Yes, life. Thank you.
Meeting people who have already made that change.
I just want to leave the world in a better place for my daughters.
Do you know when you finally find a purpose and you finally find like your calling?
We're like, oh, we're not proper farmers,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, you gotta fake it till you make it.
To build new lives around the things they love.
Sophie, look over there.
This is what life is all about. So I've been a 9-hour drive from London, and now I'm on a ferry which is taking 2 hours to get to Colonsay Island, which is a really remote island on the Inner Hebrides of Scotland. I'm going to meet a couple called Jen and Matt, and I want to know, as a couple, what it's like to kind of cut yourself off from the mainland and also have to depend on one another when it gets a bit tricky, it gets a bit rough out here. Okay, so where are we?
So, currently just passing down past Mull on our way into Colonsay. And at low tide, it's about 10 miles long. I think it's about 135 people.
Is that it? Is that one of the smaller islands in the Hebrides then?
Yeah, very remote.
Yeah?
Yeah. To the west, you've got a lighthouse and then Canada.
And what happens if there's any sort of disruptions with the weather?
Along with a lot of the other islands on the west coast, they go without service. In the winter timetable, we go down to twice a week. Wow. So if those sailings are cancelled,
Then it can be more than a week.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, right. We're really cutting yourself off if you go there.
yeah.
Would you live there? No.
No.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I have your attention, please? That's the vessel now arriving in Colonsay. Would all car drivers and the passengers please make their way to the car deck now?
Hi! Hello! Hi, Jen. Thank you for picking me up.
You're totally welcome. How's the boat trip?
It was rocky. Felt a bit sick.
Yes.
Anyway, it's lovely to be here, and the sun's out.
I know. Would you like to come in?
Yeah, thank you. Jen, this is seriously lush.
It's lovely.
Jen grew up on Colonsay until the age of 9 when her family moved to the mainland. Almost 30 years later, and with her parents now back on the island, she decided to move home.
Has it changed a lot since you were here when you were a kid?
Yes, there's definitely a huge amount more tourism now. And obviously it's beneficial in some ways because I make my living from it in
Yeah.
the season. But that's what I really like because Matt doesn't work in tourism and
Yeah.
then I do.
Yeah,
So
I get
it kind
you.
of offsets it a wee bit for me.
This is so beautiful. So which is you?
Just up over that hill. So this is all pigland.
Yeah.
Pig paradise.
Oh, there's the piggies.
Yay! Hi, piggies!
Hello.
Hey, yeah, how you
This
getting
is
on?
Sophie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Come a very long way to be here.
Yeah.
Where are you off to?
Just heading down to feed the pigs.
If there was a social experiment, you could plant yourself on an island, a small community, and each bring a skill. What would your skill be?
And it's a question for all of us, I suppose, but for Matt, the answer was pigs. I could bring pigs to the table, literally. Look at all the piggies. Hello, pigs.
I'll give you a bucket and you can feed them.
Can I?
Yeah.
Amazing. Shall I just chuck it?
Yeah, just
Scatter it?
Throw it anywhere.
Hello, little piggies. Oh, sorry. I mean, it looks like a nice life here.
Yeah, I don't think
if you
it's
wanted
too
to be a pig, this is where you'd want to be a pig. They've got a great view, haven't they? So what brought you to this business?
When I was still in Norfolk, actually, me and a mate bought 7 weaners, and then you just, fatten them up over 6 or 9 months.
Oh, right.
And just loved having pigs.
So this is a hobby?
It is a hobby, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I make my living from fencing. I'm fencing 5 days a week, and then I do this in my spare time.
Wow.
But I am passionate about pig welfare, and if you produce it yourself, like not only can we eat high quality pork, we can supply visitors to the island and the locals on the island with, free range, rare breed pork.
It's bad you're making me hungry. I can't look at them and think about sausages. See you later, piggies.
Jen and Matt live in an old croft house, which they rent from Jen's parents.
Hello.
Hello! Come in!
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. I just met the pigs. Hello.
Yeah, they are very cute. Would you like a cup of tea? I've just made a coffee.
Have you got a coffee? I'll take a
Yes.
coffee. What a view.
Isn't it lovely?
Oh. So what brought you back here then? Because you grew up here, obviously.
When we moved, it never felt like home anywhere else. This was always home. I think the more I realised that Matt was going to be the person I was going to be with, I think I began to think about what did I want kind of out of life and in the future and things. I was struggling a bit with teaching. I was really finding it really stressful. But when I finally said to him, I think I want to move home, he said, I've been waiting for you to say that.
So when the chance came to move here, you took it?
Yeah, we'd really like to do work in the house because it's an old house and it's kind of heating sorted. It would be lovely to kind of extend out that way. And then I just really want to whitewash it just to make it brighter and just make it look nice because as you come driving up the hill, you see it. And I always look at it and think, whoa, that needs a coat of whitewash.
Well, it's a beautiful day outside. If you want a hand, I'm happy to help.
That would be amazing. Yeah, yes, I have never whitewashed a house in my life.
Me neither.
Good.
Are you ready? I'm ready, go. And so it begins.
Oh.
Oh my God, this is going to take
Oh, no. It's going to take forever. You can't even tell I've done anything. Oh, no.
Okay. Right. Shall I do these bits, Jen?
Oh, yes, please.
Ooh. Oh, that's got, yeah.
Man, this is brilliant. I had no idea I was going to enjoy this.
Do you want to
Get it wet. Oh,
Some refreshments for you.
Oh, hey.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Are these your pigs?
They are, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about eating it, really.
Well, they've had a very happy life.
Oh, my God. That's a proper sausage.
Mm-hmm. They are nice, actually.
Yeah. I'm actually destroying this. It's so good.
Back to work.
Taking it very seriously.
Well, so you should be.
Yeah. So would you say, compared to the life you had before, you've made the right decision to come here?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely worth it.
Has it changed your relationship, you two?
Oh,
Made us closer, I would say.
yeah. And the difficulties that you do face, then you have to be a team, I think. I think it's made us much more of a team, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And kind of support one another.
You know, coming back to the place where you grew up, I just can't imagine it can live up to your expectations. Anything from my childhood, I always think it's sort of locked in the memory banks for a reason. And actually, if you go back into it, it might spoil it. So I want to know if it's worked out, you know, if they're happy.
Do you know what? I think it's made me feel more me again, in a way. It just is very special to be living where you're from and to be related to half the island and things like
Yeah,
it.
that makes sense.
I don't know, what about you?
Yeah, well, I think it's a place that I feel settled. Just that feeling of, you know, this is where we're going to be or where we want to be.
Yeah.
You have to accept that you moved here for a reason. You know, it's not always going to be ideal, but, you know, you moved to an island, so if a boat doesn't come, it doesn't come. That's part and parcel of it. When things are good on Colonsea, it's the best place in the world. But if you're struggling with something, you can't get away from it because it's a smaller world.
So the catalyst for wanting to change your life and come here, was there a specific catalyst?
I didn't know that I was bipolar, but I think I was beginning to really struggle with it in my life. So we did all the things that are meant to be the most stressful things. I left my job, I moved, and we got married, and then I was diagnosed with bipolar. So it wasn't really a big surprise that I had become unwell, I suppose. I felt that whatever was going on was going to be more okay here because I had the support of everyone that I've known and loved for so long.
And has that happened? Has that been the case?
Yeah, it's been really amazing. So I'm not going to apologise about getting emotional because...
No, don't apologise.
No, I'm not, because I've made it... because this is part of the illness, and I feel like it's really important. Like, it's just part of the illness, you just can't control your emotions. Yeah, but it's really... like this is a happy emotion because people have just been so lovely, and it took me a long time, but then once I was honest about it, which wasn't that long ago, it was like absolutely unbelievable just how lovely everyone was.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy for you that you found that without even knowing that's what you needed.
Yeah. I don't think I'd actually really thought about that until I just said that to you right there. But actually, I think I did. I needed to come home and have people that I really love around me and that are going to look out for me, like Matt.
Yeah.
So it's all quite linked in, and my kind of relationship with the island is linked into not only the diagnosis, but hopefully now the coming to terms with it.
It's fascinating that Jen didn't know that she had bipolar, but she had this calling to come back to the island. She didn't really know why. And then she got diagnosed, and it's almost like it was meant to be. Thank God. Thank God she's here.
Colonsay is quite a musical island.
Is it really?
Yeah, because Gaelic and tunes are kind of interlinked. So there's a lot of people from the island that are really musical. And then I realised how much, for me, playing with other people is like a connection thing that's so lovely.
I mean, personally, I use art for medicine reasons, you know? It really like clears out my head.
Yes.
Do you find that?
Yeah, you're not thinking about anything else, and you come out of it. Time's flown by and you can't believe how long's passed.
Totally.
Yeah, it's lovely.
That's
or how many
lovely.
pints have been drunk.
I like that. Are we here?
We're here, yeah.
I've met a number of people who've changed their lives now, and they've all had their different reasons. But something that's really interesting about Jen and Matt's story is that Matt was doing what he loved. He loved being with his animals and he wanted to live wild. And Jen wanted to come back to her home and feel that space where she once belonged. So neither of them compromised on what they wanted for their lives, and they created it. The benefit of that is that now that Jen is coming to terms with bipolar and what that's going to mean for her and her relationships and for her life, she's doing it in her happy place. And that's fantastic. I left Colonsay in admiration of Matt and Jen's bold decision to return to her childhood home so they could be near her family. Back on the mainland, I'm heading south to meet another couple who made a big move, leaving the hustle and bustle of Glasgow for the beauty of the Scottish borders.
Knock, knock.
Hi! Can I come in?
Yeah.
Hello. Oh, it's cosy in here.
Nice to meet you both.
Andy and Anila followed their passion, setting up a business around the thing they love doing most, mountain biking, and set up a tour company.
What are we doing?
Punctures. You know, the bane of our life.
Bane of our lives. I feel you. So, I know you've made a lot of changes in your lives. Could you tell me about them?
I had an event and it led us to understand that I had multiple sclerosis. and the organisation I worked for, I worked in education marketing. There was a restructuring going on, and I just took the opportunity to grab a package and follow my passions and my hobby, which was mountain biking. It has been since I was a teenager.
That was the moment you thought, I need to change my life.
Well, we never talked about it, but I think it was the catalyst. Okay. You know, he set up the business, but for me, I was still working as a public servant. So I was still going to Edinburgh to work.
So how did you get into mountain biking?
Do you know, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even know that mountain bikes existed. Growing up as in a Pakistani family in the city centre of Glasgow, I never really had a bike till I met Andy.
As Andy's MS caused his health to deteriorate, he ditched his pedal bike for an e-bike. And for our ride today, I brought one of my own.
It's amazing.
Whoa, skills.
What are we looking at
Yeah, this is technically an adapted mountain bike.
here? I want it.
I know, right?
So what kind of speed have you been getting up to on this?
Can I say? I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I got up to about 40 miles an hour.
No, you never.
Nah, I did. I did.
I'm kind of jealous.
Well, should we get out?
Let's get covered in mud.
Let's get covered in mud.
Yes.
I think the last time I was in the Scottish Hills was when I was walking. So that was before my injury. It was when I was about 16, 17.
Okay.
So I haven't been able to be in this environment, so I'm absolutely gagging to get into it. How many miles of trails have you got here?
I'm still finding new places to ride.
Wow.
I mean, it's absolutely endless.
There was a point in time when me and Andy really couldn't ride together. But then once he's had this e-bike, it's been life-changing. We can ride together again.
Oh, how was that for you, Andy?
It's mega. It's absolutely mega.
Yeah.
Because for me, the e-bike is phenomenal in as much as I don't necessarily need to overheat on the climbs. The heat really flares up my symptoms. Balance, vision, vertigo, all these kind of things, you know, and I can spend a lot more of the ride, you know, enjoying the ride rather than fighting the symptoms, you know.
Yeah, I get you. Oh, it must have been a game changer then.
Oh, proper game changer, absolutely.
Oh, look at this. Oh, this is beautiful.
Right, stay to the left, yeah?
Okay.
Okay?
It's amazing! I feel like it could go over anything. Nearly at the top. Look where we are. Woo-hoo! Scotland. Freedom! No, honestly, look at this. This is absolutely spectacular.
But you can see why we moved to this part of Scotland.
It's wonderful being up on the mountains with Andy and Anila. I mean, for me personally, it was really special because I haven't been able to access that kind of terrain for a very long time. So I was loving life. I think as somebody with a physical disability, I notice the ways in which Andy was adapting and struggling, or at times just overcoming, and it was just really, I really empathise with his situation in many ways.
Here you are, this is yours.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that looks amazing. Yeah.
Andy and Anila are clearly in their element, but starting a business hasn't been without risk.
You know, who being diagnosed with an incurable neurological disease starts a business that relies on their physical being to be a mountain bike guide? I just love the feeling you get when you ride bikes. You know, we experienced it. It's just such a liberating, freeing experience, and it's such a simple thing.
Do you think it means more to you as well because of the fact that your body might not always be able to sustain this lifestyle?
That's an everyday contemplation and reflection. It used to be about the 8-hour epic rides, and for me it's not just about that anymore. It can be about getting to a spot like this and firing up the stove, or getting up a hill with my favourite person most of the time, and just experiencing that. So the bike's a vehicle to get to experiences and moments. If anything, as my riding capabilities have gone that way, My appreciation of mountain biking has gone up.
And of life?
Yeah, big time.
You feel the same?
The changes that we've had to make because of Andy's health, I've got to say it's not been easy.
No.
It's been really hard. It's been really hard for me to make those changes, and there's been a lot of guilt of being able to do things and then he's not able to do them with me. But I think we've definitely found a happy place, haven't we?
I sound like the Pope here. I give you my blessing, darling. You know,
Be free.
Go forth.
So Andy's taken his diagnosis and he's approached it in the only way he knows how, to adapt and to, I don't like to use the word overcome because you can't really overcome a degenerative disease like MS, but you can learn to live with it, and that's exactly what he's done.
Do you mind grabbing some water, Anila? You're just giving me a face.
I don't want to leave. It's amazing.
Surrounded by Scotland's liquid sunshine, Anila is taking me to Glen Tress. There, we're meeting up with a women's cycling group that she leads.
Ahoy! Hi! Cool. So should we get on it?
We will be kind to you, won't we?
Okay. Which way are we going?
We're going that way.
Woo-hoo! Oh, this is so cool! Woo-hoo! Woo! Riding out with those women was so much fun. Honestly, I can't even tell you the last time I did something like that with a group of women. Really? They are all very encouraging of one another. It's just really, there was a lot of camaraderie. It was really nice to be a part of it. It was brilliant. Oh, that was the best!
You're natural.
I'm really excited about getting some food. I'm sodden through and I'm covered in mud. I mean, it's a great way to be, but I'm ready for some food now.
After their rides, Anila often cooks for the women at a cafe belonging to one of the group.
It smells really good.
It does smell good, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Who taught you how to cook?
Well, my mum taught me how to cook. She wanted to really share her heritage with us. The thing is the Borders is a wonderful place, living in the Scottish Borders, but there's not many people from minority ethnic backgrounds here. I just had to get used to that.
How was that?
It was a bit odd to start, and I was fearful of it. But by the time we built our community and all of that, we forgot about that.
Yeah. What is it actually you're making?
I've got dal, we've got potato and spinach curry, we've got pakoras, we've got chapatis.
When Anila got here, I think she really felt that she might not fit in, but she's found a way to overcome that through her love of mountain biking, and she's made so many friends, and she's now becoming a real leader within the community, and she's using her skills and her experience to change this place.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. She's an amazing cook, yeah. You don't turn down one of these things. No. Squish him. Good after a rainy day, warm spices. Absolutely.
Just what you need, the doctor ordered.
It is so obvious why Andy and Anila changed their lives. But I think more than anything, it's Andy's attitude to potentially what he's living with now, but what he also might live with in the future. And instead of focusing on the things that our bodies can't do or might not be able to do one day, if we can do it, we should do it. The mountains feels like a place that doesn't include someone like me, but with the right equipment and the right attitude and the right gear, I think it's open for everyone.
We should probably say the weather's not always like this in the Borders, though, is it?
Whatever.
An evening with Anila, Andy and all those women has left me with a warm glow. Next, I'm heading further south to the Lake District, and I'm wondering if I need that camaraderie to feel a sense of belonging. Or can solitude also offer joy? I'm in the Lake District to meet Sue, who has come here to run a hostel. But the hostel is in the middle of nowhere and she runs it all by herself. I cannot wait just to see what it's like and to find out what this life is actually like.
Got all your gear?
I think so,
Got
yeah.
the sleeping bag?
No.
Yeah, we'll be fine with that. Don't worry.
Okay.
Can do attitude.
Oh, I've got loads of that. It's all
Brilliant.
packed. Yeah.
Let's get this in the back.
See if I can do it in a one-hour. Oh, hello.
Oh, and that's Jura.
Hi, Jura. Oh, so, hello. I can't wait to get there. It's going to be super isolated, but in this incredible scenery. Wow. Every time I come up to the lake, I'm blown away how beautiful it is.
It just doesn't get better on days like this as well.
There's not a soul in sight. A couple of sheep. So how long does it take for us to get back?
It's about half an hour. It's only 3 miles, but you can see the state of the track.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's 3 slow miles.
See, this is brilliant.
It feels like we're going off into the wild. It is an adventure, isn't it? Yeah.
So how many times a week do you make the trip?
Oh, it's about twice a week.
Twice a week?
Yeah, I close it for a couple of nights just to give me some time back.
Yeah.
So I'm coming out usually on a Sunday afternoon. The hostel's cleaned and ready to go. There'll be rubbish in the back and the laundry's coming out and I go to the laundrette.
So you drive an hour to do the washing?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then I come back in and that's usually on a Tuesday afternoon and I'm bringing something in, wood or coal.
Yeah, every journey has to have a purpose,
Yeah,
otherwise there's
absolutely.
no point. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Ooh, sketchy.
Don't worry, it's not my first time.
No. This is the driveway and a half. My God.
Okay, now this bit's going to get a little bit bumpy, so
Right.
hold on to the dog.
Oh, I've got the dog. Does this road scare you?
Oh, I mean, the first time I drove it, there was a little bit of sick in my tummy.
I wouldn't want to do this in the snow and in a blizzard.
Yeah.
It'd be a bit scary.
When it gets really extreme, then it is putting on a rucksack and walking in. Because a lot of people want to come in the winter and they actually want to experience the snow.
Look at the waterfall.
That's Dash Falls.
I feel like we're heading into the back of beyond. I really do. So there it is.
That's it, home sweet home. Yeah.
Oh.
That's your little house.
Sue. Wow, it really is as remote as you said it was.
Brilliant.
Wow.
I mean, you're getting chauffeured, and you know, most people that come to it have probably walked the best part of 5 hours, and then they see that, you know, they're on the track. That's their refuge for the night.
It's like an oasis.
Yeah.
That might be one of the best driveways I've ever been on. I live in a city and I use a wheelchair. I don't get into these environments very often. So I have a little bit of a secret, I suppose. When I was a kid, I wanted to own a hostel. It was my dream. How fun it would be to have people come in and meet new people all the time. And I really, really wanted that to happen. It never looked like this, and it was never in a place like this, but it was all the other things, all the other ingredients. This is what I wanted. And when I was driving up here, this memory just came back and I was like, oh my God, this is the dream. This is what I wanted. And I am so excited to be here for that reason. I've never met anyone who actually made my dream into their reality.
Here we are. Yeah, don't forget to take in the views before you go inside. Sometimes you just need to stop and
it does encourage
take
that,
it all
doesn't
in.
it? There's not a sound.
It's just a view you can get lost in.
I think it's the quiet that's overwhelming me a little bit. I've just noticed that you've got the heights here.
Yeah, the highest hostels in England. It's the
most
highest
remote,
hostel.
the highest. I mean, I get the sense of peace for sure. I'm so bombarded with sound in the city. Does it get quite extreme up here, the weather?
It's a mountain landscape. Yeah. So yeah, snow, ice. Yeah, you can get cut off, definitely, if the weather comes in.
Stay with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Do you even get any phone signal here?
No, there isn't phone signal. I mean, for me on my own, I don't mind that. It's solitude, and there's a difference between solitude and loneliness.
Okay.
You know, loneliness is isolation, and I think there's something a bit cold about that. But solitude, to me, is more warming. It's, you know, fine to be on your own, in my own company. I love hiking. There's not, like, if you said to me, just forget everything and tell me something now, I'd be like, rucksack on my back, on top of a ridge, thinking of the best place to have lunch.
Okay.
Like, that's me. That's when I'm happiest.
So this facilitates your life here. That's the point.
For me, it's the best of both worlds.
Yes.
It's open to guests. They come, they book in, they're on their hikes. I can share with them their enthusiasm of the day and where they are, because I love it too. My part of the deal is make it clean and welcoming.
As a one-woman band, Sue has to do all the cleaning and maintenance of this 4-bedroom former keeper's lodge. With guests expected tonight, that includes changing the beds.
Here we go. Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah, we're having a little snuggle.
Yeah, not much science to it, but just try and make it feel really welcoming.
I can do pillowcases?
Yes.
How did you get into this line of work, Sue?
I tried other things and I failed spectacularly at them. I mean, how does one get into hospitality? Most people don't sit there at 10, 12, 15 and go, oh yeah, career in hosteling, that's...
I'm not going to lie, I actually did.
You are genuinely the first person that went, yeah, from a young age, I wanted to be hosteling. Yeah. I used to be a local radio producer and I did that for many years and really enjoyed that. I actually went to do a piece of radio to go to Iona, but I came away sort of with a yearning to go back for more. I'd lost the relationship that I was in and the work started to feel like it was becoming, you know, just a bit samey.
That led you to a crossroads?
Yeah, and it's like, I'd like there to be something more, so I'm going to go off and find that.
Did you have all the skills required to do this job, do you think? Or did it feel like a challenge?
So I've worked for the Youth Hostel Association for 10 years.
Okay.
But the challenge in this is that I'm doing it by myself. It's an enterprise.
Yeah.
There's still more jobs to do.
Right.
So that's the beds.
Cool.
So we need to start getting the common room ready and start to get that all-important fire sorted out.
Sue is very resilient, she's very resourceful, very capable, and very independent. You know, these are traits I really admire in a person, especially in a woman. So I think she's, for me, very inspiring.
This is the heart of the hostel. This is where everybody really sort of seems to hang out most evenings. This is our vital heat source. You know, this is an old building, 1830s. So we need to get this cleaned out as well.
Cleaned out?
So, yeah, and then we've got the bucket here, and you've got the scoop. I'm just going to sit
You
here
sit down,
and
put
just
your
watch
feet
you
up.
do it, Anne.
Yeah, what do you think, Jura?
Treat.
I mean, honestly, the draw of, like, getting the place ready for people and making it all nice and cosy and lovely.
It's a challenge. The challenge is keeping a building like this clean. It's 4 bedrooms, 2 lounges, the kitchen, you know, and there's me. To achieve excellence, bit to your right. There you go, that's it. You got it. Bring that out.
Yes.
There you go.
Is that good?
There, you found it all.
Beds made, fire lit, and ready to welcome tonight's guests.
Hi, welcome. Welcome. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome.
So what brings you guys here?
Well, he messaged us to see if I fancy doing a charity walk. I said, all right, let's go.
So what's the charity all about then?
It's a charity that helps veterans build a positive mindset as well as serving soldiers.
It's such a privilege to sit with people, and there's something really magical about what Sue's created here in this communal area where anyone from any walk of life can just come and sit down and get to know one another. It feels like what we should all be doing. No phones, no distractions, no television, just a bunch of people sitting around sharing stories. That's what life is all about. I think I had one of the best night's sleep I've ever had. So quiet and comfortable and warm and cosy and all the things I thought it wasn't going to be, because it's in the middle of nowhere and off-grid and unheated, all those things.
Morning. Hi, good morning, guys.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Over hill.
Well, I hope the weather's nice for you.
That side says sun, that side says rain.
Head that direction.
Bye. Cheers. See you later.
Bye, good luck. I'm sure there are some negatives. I can't find them. What are the negatives of being here and living this life?
Yeah, I mean, you feel quite spoilt living here, but there are a few reality checks. My biggest concern is just falling ill.
Right.
You know, what if I break my arm? What if I'm out hiking and I break my leg, doing what I enjoy doing? But I don't like to take decisions in life or deny myself something because of a negative. I'm not going to just, like, stay stagnant and not take that chance, you know?
I really admire what you do. I really admire the way you do it and your attitude. I think that you're a wonderful example of just how to not waste any time and just do the thing you love.
I just think when the right thing presents itself to you, whatever space you're in, you just sometimes know it.
Sue isn't afraid of change. That her approach to life, for me, is really something that I want to take away. So many of us get stuck in, this is who I'm going to be and this is what I'm going to do, and you stick to it. And that can lead you into a place perhaps where you don't find fulfillment and you don't have purpose, and your dreams might change, but you might not. And so it's important to move and be, you know, flexible with the approach to life, and that's what Sue's got in abundance. There's something really special about it. It makes me very excited about my future, what I could do next. Leaving the solitude of Skiddaw House, I'm inspired by the idea that change is possible at any stage of life. Back on the road, I'm heading further south to meet a couple who live in a boatyard in the lush Leicestershire countryside.
The interesting thing about this couple is that they're both in their 60s. So I want to know what it's like to make change at that point in life.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you both.
And you.
Sally and Rachel have just taken delivery of a brand spanking new narrowboat shell.
So why a narrowboat?
Well, we've lived on a boat for a long time, haven't we?
A very long time, yeah.
It was a sailboat. She was a big, heavy boat, and she was quite hard to sail between the two of us. So we decided to sell that and try something different. We've never actually set foot on a narrowboat before.
Really? Only her, when she arrived?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about this boat?
Well, she's a 57-foot shell. There's absolutely nothing inside, just the bare steel work. We're doing all the wiring, the plumbing, absolutely everything. We're making all the furniture.
Why?
To get what we want.
Okay.
To get exactly what we want.
Yeah, so it's our last adventure. So we want to make sure it's going to last us for the rest of our life.
Hence her name.
Hence her name?
Ola, one last adventure before dementia.
She's down.
She's in. Oh, wow, look at that.
It's absolutely amazing.
I'm so happy for you both. Thank you.
So
Beginning of an
happy.
adventure.
While they fit out Ola, the couple are living in a converted van.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Okay. There you go.
Beautiful. So this is temporary home.
Temporary home, but home. Proper home. Our living space is 9 foot by 6 foot. So you've got two women who are too tall for her because we're like this when we do the dishes and we shuffle and I cook, and the roast dinners are amazing still.
You cook a roast dinner in here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right, yeah.
Everything.
Right.
Everything's done as you would do in your own home.
Yeah.
We do here. We just improvise.
Have you always been this adventurous?
Yeah. Probably not as much. Rachel makes me feel braver. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel braver with Rachel. You know, it's just more, shall we do? And I'm like, we can't do that. We can do anything.
So what was life before, Sally?
Before Rachel?
Maybe, yeah.
Life before was full-time foster carer, but I only had teenagers. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them, it was me or a secure unit. And I think if you can do 94 teenagers and foster them for years and years and years, you can survive anything.
94?
Yeah, and I loved every one.
Did you really?
Every single one.
Wow,
and then it was time for me to retire.
And you were preparing for what next?
I really didn't know until I met Rachel. I really didn't know. I was on my own by that time, and I thought, online dating. I read Rachel's profile. If you love the sea, if you love boats, if you love... I thought, oh, hang on, this is Tick, tick, tick. Yes, definitely. Tick, tick, tick. I was extremely lucky. I found Rachel and I grabbed that with both hands. We both did.
We both did, yeah.
And at the right time.
Definitely at the right time.
Perfect time, actually.
Perfect time.
Is there anything that you know, don't enjoy about this life at the moment?
You want a bathroom?
I want a bathroom.
That's fair enough.
Which I'm going to have now. Ola's going to have a wet room. This is why, you know, it's important to us that we do her from the start.
Yeah.
She's a skeleton at the moment, but we're going to put the heart into her.
She's a blank canvas for you to paint.
Yeah, yeah.
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 As is your life.
As is our life. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They've been living in that van together for months and they've got a while to go yet. I don't know how they do it. And it just shows you how much in love they are. It's something that Sally said, you know, when she's with Rachel, she feels like she can do anything. And, well, that's, you know, if they can live in a van like that for months and months on end, it feels like they really can do anything. There's 4 months hard work ahead before they get out on the water. But luckily, this isn't Rachel's first rodeo.
This is one of the utility windows. If we can put a load of glue inside the mortises.
Could do this. How much do we need?
As much as you can get in, just
Oh,
squish
really?
it around, yeah.
Okay.
Get it down the sides, both sides, yep.
Fab.
Yep, and put a bit on the tenon. Just put a bit either side. That goes in there. That's it. And same with the other side.
Thank you. So, how do you know how to do all of this?
I used to love sailing. I started sailing dinghies when I was in my late teens. And then I always wanted to build a boat to live on and started building a 45-foot steel boat. And then 6 months later, I was running a boatyard.
Wow. So you started off life very differently.
Yes, very differently indeed. I was Michael. I was married for nearly 20 years. My ex-wife knew about my gender dysphoria. I was always open and honest about it. When I was about 40, I started a gender program in Newcastle and basically went through the change 25 years ago. But until I became Rachel, I found it difficult to focus on anything.
Right.
There was too much conflict going off.
I relate to this idea of before and after lives. I had a spinal injury when I was a kid, and I feel that there's a dissonance between the person you were before and the person that you become after.
Exactly.
And do you feel now that you are exactly who you want to be?
Exactly who I want to be.
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
I've got the benefits of having all the skills that I have from when I was Michael, and I'm happy in myself now as Rachel, and I can still use those skills.
What's this?
I like to do a bit of wood
That's
carving.
lovely.
That's Sally's little mouse. Sally wanted a little mouse putting on one of the windows. This is the kitchen window, so it can be seen all the time when we're in the kitchen.
That's gorgeous. See, that's why you're doing this, so you can add these little finishes that are all for you.
Yeah.
Totally bespoke.
Everyone has a story, but Rachel's story is significant in the sense that she's lived 2 different lives in essentially 2 different bodies with 2 different perspectives and attitudes. But listening to her talk about it now and the fact that she is exactly who she wants to be as a disabled woman, I so respect that, because it takes a lot of time to get confident to actually define your own life. With a little help from my support worker, Tom, we're all set to find out if Rachel and Sally can actually drive one of these things. Starting with a 3-point turn.
Ooh, testing your skills. No pressure at all.
Well, it's going the opposite direction that I wanted it to go into, but we might still be able to do it.
Who knew narrowboating could be so exciting?
Exactly.
Skills!
That's what
Skills!
That's what fenders are for.
Woohoo! Look at that! Well done.
That was interesting.
That was brilliant.
Good fun.
It is great.
Is it?
We can't wait. We cannot wait to get Ola on the water doing this.
Yes.
Look at our back garden, Sophie. Look at this.
I know. You make me kind of jealous, I'm not going to lie.
Who else has got more hens and geese and swans and everything in their own gardens?
So you're loving the pace of life?
We're in our 60s. Time to slow, but not stop.
Never stop.
We're not going to stop.
Can I ask what happens if you do stop? What happens if, you know, one of you gets sick or any of those awful challenges that might come along with older age?
Don't make a plan, Sophie, and then...
If it happens, it happens.
It happens, it happens.
We'll deal with it.
Yeah, that's the day we deal with it.
All right.
Together, we do it, we get on with it, and we do it.
None of it feels like a risk. None of it feels like something to be worried about.
Dip your toe and have a go.
For some people, retirement must feel like a dead end, like it's the end of life. But you two, it's the complete opposite.
It's the beginning.
It's the beginning of life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the beginning. There's so many places I want to go to see, things I want to do. This is going to be a good means of doing it.
Well, this is absolutely heaven.
It is.
I think I might have to move in with you both.
No problem.
Honestly, though, great choice. It's going to be a good life.
Yeah, it really is. We're looking forward to it.
All right, I got one last thing to show you. Are you ready?
Yeah. What is it? One last adventure. That's a brilliant tattoo. Badass. I love it. There is this prevailing attitude with people who have made that leap into a new life that you shouldn't think too much, you should plan for the worst, hope for the best, all of this. And I'm trying to work out what it is that these people have in them that allows them to face the fear and do it anyway. Because a part of me thinks it's not a risk for them because they trust in their ability to overcome and adapt no matter what. So that's powerful. That's really powerful. It's almost like saying, just go for it, and you work it out as you go.
Next time, I head back out into the wild.
I mean, there aren't many places you can just get away from all the hustle and bustle.
To meet those who've changed their lives a long time ago.
The amazing thing is I'm still here. It hasn't killed me yet.
And others inspiring the next generation.
Woo!